Welcome everyone. In today's session, we're going to discuss about keywords and control statements. Okay, keywords. So Java keywords are known as reserved keywords, which has some functions. So these words are predefined in the Java programming language. Okay. So some of the Java keywords are abstract, boolean, break, class, byte, and public. So the list goes on. So total keywords available in Java is 52. Okay, 52 keywords are available in Java. So those are built-in keywords which define some specific attributes. Okay, the remaining keywords we will be seeing in further classes. The next one is control statements. So control statements are nothing but is one of the fundamentals required for Java programming. It is used for the smooth flow of the program execution. There are three types of control statement. One is selection, another one is iteration, then jump statements. Selection statement can be also called as decision making statements. Then the iteration and jump statement comes under looping statements. Okay. So control statement is used for the smooth execution of the program without any block of or error in the coding part. Okay, let's see about selection statement, which is decision making statement. So decision making in Java. So in programming we face some situation where we want a certain block of code to be executed when some condition is fulfilled. So I want only a certain part of the program to be executed when a particular condition is executed. That's where we will be using decision making statements. So decision making structures have one or more conditions to be evaluated or tested by the programmer. So the decision making statements structure has either one or more than one conditions to be tested. Okay. After testing those conditions, which is followed by some statements that to be executed. So after testing those conditions, the statements which need to be executed must also be followed. So if the condition is determined to be true and optionally other statements to be executed. If the condition is determined to be false, then other statement will be executed. So a programming language uses control statements to control the flow of execution of program based on certain conditions. So as I said, these are used to control the flow of the program execution. Okay. Now there are some statements available in selection or decision making in Java, which is if else, nested if else if, switch case, and some break continue return, which is used to jump inside the conditions. Okay. These statements allows you to control the flow of your program execution based upon the conditions known only during runtime. So based upon the conditions we are giving during the runtime, the execution or the flow of the program is executed. So let's see about the first statement, which is if statement. So this if is the most simple decision making statement, and this is a basic one. Okay. It is used to decide whether a certain statement or block of statement will be executed or not. So this if statement, if we use the if statement, it will decide whether the certain part of the program or the code to be executed or not. Okay. So it will test the condition. It executes the if block if the condition is true. So that is the working of if statement. So the syntax here is if condition. So we will specify a particular condition. Then with the open curly braces, I am providing a statement 1. So that is a block of statement to be executed. Then I am closing the curly braces. Now the if condition is over. I mean if statement gets over, then I am giving statement 2. Okay. So if the if condition is true, the statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, it will never go inside the loop. Instead, it will print the statement true. Okay. It will print either both the statement if it is true. Okay. If it is false, it will print only statement 2 here. Okay. Let's see the flow of if statement. So we have the test expression, which is a condition. If it is true, body of if, which is the part we need to execute. Okay, the statement I want to print is the body of if. If it is true, the body of if will be printed, then statement just below if will also be printed. If it is false, the body of if will not get executed, but statement just below f will be executed. That's how the if statement will work. Let's see with an example. Okay. Let's use a data type int, then uh, with a variable name age, okay, 20. Then now I am going to use the if statement. So using the variable name, I am providing a condition, which is the age should be greater than 18. System dot out dot print ln. Okay. So age is greater than 18. Okay. So after that, you can use another statement. I have to check whether all the curly braces are closed. Okay. So now I have given a condition in the if statement. So age should be greater than 18. If the condition is true, it will print age is greater than 18. If it is false, it will print if statement. If it is true, it will print both the statement, because after this part gets executed, the next line will also get executed. Age is greater than 18, if statement. Okay, so let's see if it is less than 18. Only the statement below the if block is getting executed. This is the working of if statement. So in if statement, if we do not provide the curly braces and after if, then by default if statement will consider the immediate one statement to be inside its block. Okay, so if I doesn't provide any curly braces inside the if block, means the statement 1 and 2 will be considered as the block inside the if statement. If, like here if the condition is true, if block will consider only statement 1 to be inside its block. But if the curly braces is not provided, it will consider both the statement 1 and 2 is inside the if block. So it's better to provide the curly braces. Okay, the next one is if else statement. So the if statement alone tells us that if a condition is true, it will execute a block of statement, and if the condition is false, it won't. It won't has any statement to be executed, because it will just print the statement below the if block. Okay. In if else, we want to do something else if the condition is false. So if the condition is true, it has some operation to be executed. So I want some operation to be executed if the condition is false. That's where the if else statement is used. So here is the syntax. If a condition, open curly braces, executes this block if the condition is true, then I am giving the else block. So specifying the else, then open curly braces, then executes this block if the condition is false. So this is the flowchart for if else statements. So there is a text expression which is a condition. If it is true, the body of if is executed. If it is false, the body of else will get executed. After both the statements, the statement below the if else part will get executed, or the remaining code which is below the if else part will get executed. Okay. So let's see with an example. So to find an odd or even number, we can use the if else statement. let's use a data type int, then a variable number control. Okay, so to find a number whether it is odd or even. So for even, the number should be divisible by 0. The remainder should be 0. If the remainder is other than 0, then that is an odd number. Okay. To find the remainder, the operator we're gonna use is mod. Okay. If I want to specify the condition, number mod 2 equal to 0. So it will check both these sides. So I'm giving 2 equal to operator, so it will compare both the sides. Okay. Given number else odd number. Okay, so let's check whether it is even or odd. After this it is a odd number, and the statement after the if else block is also executed. Okay, this is the use of if else. We have seen in operators that we can use an operator instead of using the if else statement, right? Int b equal to, I want to find the minimum value So this is the ternary operator we are using instead of if else statement. So there is a condition for the ternary operator like if else. So this is, if it is true I want to print A, if it is false I want to print B. Like this is the if condition. If it is true the if block gets executed. If it is false the else block is executed. So we can use ternary operator instead of if else statement in order to reduce the length of the program. Okay. So the next one is if else if ladder statement. the if ladder statement execute one condition from multiple statements. Okay, so the syntax is if condition on, and then code to be executed if the condition is true, which is statement. Okay. Then I'm having the else if, then it has the another condition. If that condition is true, that statement will get executed, and the else if will goes on until we have a else block, which will print if the condition is false. So this is the flow of the if else if ladder statement. So test expression 1 true means it will print the statement 1. Then after that, if it is false, it will go to the next test expression. Like that it will go. After the last test expression, if it is false, it will print the body of else, then the remaining part of the code will get executed. So that's the use of if else if ladder. So let's see by an example for the if else if ladder statement. I'm using so let's write a program for grading system for fail, D grade, C grade, B grade, A grade and A plus. So for that I want a variable with a mark. Okay. So I want to specify the first condition if mark is less than 50. Which means fail. Okay. After that I want to have the else if another condition which is mark is greater than equal to 60, mark less than or equal to or less than 70. System dot out dot print ln with the B grade. Here the else and if should have a space in between them. Another else if mark greater or equal to 70, mark less than 80. Actually this should be 50 and 60, should be 70 and 60. So system dot out dot print ln C grade. We need, I think, 2 more for B grade, A grade and A plus. B grade else if the mark greater than 80, 90, A grade. This is the last else if we are going for the A plus grade. System dot out dot print should give the A plus grade. Now the final else block. So first condition, if it is true, the statement 1 will get executed. Then if it is false, it will go to the next condition. It will check here. If it is true, it will print here. If it is false, it will move on to the next condition. So like that, it will check all the conditions. If it is false, so I am getting the grade C. So for the first condition, mark 65 less than 50, which is false. So it will move on to the next condition. So mark greater than or equal to 50, 65 greater than or equal to 50, which is true. This is logical AND. Okay, then mark less than 60. So 65 less than 60. This is true and this is false. If the logical AND has the behavior of both the input has to be true for the output to be true. So if one condition fails, then the output will be false. So here this condition is false, so the whole condition gets false. So it will move on to the next condition. 65 greater than or equal to 60, which is true, and 65 less than 70, which is true. So both the condition is true, so this will get executed. So this is the use of if, else, if, ladder statements in Java. We can also find whether a number is negative, positive or zero using the if, else, if statement. Like number, say number 3. So I want to find whether this number is positive or negative. If num is greater than 0, that is positive. Else if num is less than 0, then it is negative. And the final is else the given number is 0. So the given number is positive. So these are some of the basic examples of if else if ladder. Okay. The next one is nested if statement. So nested if statement represents if block within another if block. So here the inner if block condition executes only when outer if block condition is true. Okay. The syntax is if a condition, then a code to be executed and another if block inside the main if block. Okay. So the inner if block gets executed only when the outer if block condition is true. So this is the flow of nested if. Okay. A text expression, if it is true, the nested text expression gets executed. If that condition is true, the body of nested if will execute it. If it is false, the body of nested else part will get executed. If the outer if block is false, the body of else will get executed. Then the remaining part of the code will get executed. So let's see with an example for the nested if class or nested if statement. Okay. Int age equal to 20. I am creating two variables with the same data type. I am applying one condition. If age is greater than or equal to 18. After this condition, I am using another if block for the another variable. We are using weight is greater than 50. So system dot out dot print ln. So you are eligible travel. So for this particular block, I want to create an else statement. Check your weight. So after this, I want to have another if block is block. Check your age. Okay. So this is the nested if, and if block inside another if is known as nested if statement. Okay. You are eligible to travel. So let's see if the age is below 18. So check your age. So if this condition is false, it will not go inside the if block. It will slightly go into the else part of the main if block. So let's check whether. So check your weight. So which means the first condition is true. It will go inside the loop. Then it will check the if condition of the inner if block. So weight has to be greater than 50, but it is 46. So instead of executing this statement, it will go to the else part of the inner if block. So it will print check your weight. So this is the use of nested if statement in Java.